Yo, what's up, guys? It's Dab. I wanted to make a video today about this app called Melodics. It is sick. It's by far the best way to learn how to play MIDI keyboard or finger drumming. It is by far the funnest way that I've tried to learn how to play piano. And it's really cool because they try to keep you consistent. By the way, guys, I'm not getting paid for this. I just really think this is an awesome app and it helps you stay consistent. And that is one of the main building blocks to get about getting better in anything is consistency. So let's get into it.
Hey guys, quick editor's note real quick. I noticed when I was making this video that my studio mic wasn't selected to the right input, so it didn't record any of the audio. All of the audio is recorded off my camera, and my camera's audio microphone is a little bit lacking. So if you hear anything that sounds like low passed or maybe even some lisps, bear with me, I'm sorry about that. I know that the audio quality is a little bit lacking, but the underlying message is there, and I hope you enjoy this video. Thanks for sticking around.
It works for desktop and Mac. I'm personally running a Mac. So yeah, you can get it. It's also free. There's many, I think there's 3 different versions. So there's a free version, a monthly version, and an annual version. Let's go to the pricing here. So in the pricing, so we get the free version, 5 performance minutes per day. So the main thing about Melodics, not only is it a cool way to learn how to play, it reminds me of Guitar Hero. It's almost like a game. They really try to help you stay consistent. They really try to help you actually build a habit of using it, whether it's, to build a habit to come back to their platform and use their, app here, or if it's just something that helps you build a habit of actually getting to the piano and learning and practicing some, main habits that you would need to get better at MIDI keys. But regardless, they do a really good job of showing you with these little meters and showing you exactly how many minutes that you practice, so you can get a good overview of where you're at, as well as they have a grading system. So 5 performances per day, you get 60 lessons, and it allows you to start building your skill, right? So what I have right here, I have the monthly version. I originally started with the free version, and it was awesome. It was awesome, and I wanted more. And I wanted more than the 5 minutes, and and all the other lessons that they had to offer. Because guys, they have a lot, and not only that, it's really cool because it's subdivided into genres of music. So you can play like hip hop, and they have lessons from artists that are actually in the industry. So with the monthly version, you get unlimited playtime, so you can practice for as long as you want. I usually go for like an hour. Lessons by acclaimed artists, like I was just telling you, you get 800 plus lessons, so that's 740 more than you would have had with the free version. You get 50 courses, so the courses also go into exactly what you need to learn with music theory as well as scales, and it's pretty cool. You get free playover lessons. I'm not exactly sure of that. I don't know if I've never done a lesson more than once, so maybe in the free version you would have to pay to do the lesson again. I'm not quite sure on that. And then you get new content every week, much like any of the new platforms nowadays, the subscription-based platforms. You get new content every week. And it's pretty cool. And then with the annual version, you pay $12 a month, but you pay the whole year right away, which is, it's cool. You get a good savings on it, but I'd rather just pay monthly, just in case I want to stop at some point. But with that too, you get the unlimited playtime, you get the lessons by the acclaimed artist, 800 lessons, 50 courses, free play, and then the new content every week. So I'm pretty sure you get all the same perks as the monthly, but it's just, now you have a whole year. Me personally, just the way I am, I'd rather go with a monthly. It forces me to, get everything done that I want in that month, rather than if I had a whole year, I can just slack off for a whole month and not care about it because I already paid for it. You know what I mean? That's just me personally. But so once you decided that you want to download your free version, you just click here, try for free. You'll end up getting a little prompt to download the app, and it'll pop up here on your downloads, and then you can open it up. I've already done so. I've had this for a couple months now. But let's open up the app. So when you open up the app, it's going to look quite like this. Up here, you can switch your instruments, which is cool. So if I click on it, you can go between keys, electronic drums, which are like the little pad, like the black padded drums, and then you get finger drumming, and it also shows you the levels of where you're at in the progress of the thing. So for right now, we'll do the keys. On the lower left side, it gives you an overview of the days that you've played, and it gives you a streak meter. I haven't played this month; it's only the first, so it's the second, so it's the beginning of the month. So I haven't really played this month, but usually it will show you, if you have consecutive months, it'll show you like a little green line through them, and it'll tell you your streaks as well as your best streak. Then to the right side, you have the lesson stars. So this is kind of like a leveling system. So for every lesson, I believe you get a chance to earn 3 stars. It's kind of like Guitar Hero. So as you play and as you get more notes correct, it allows you to earn your 3 stars. And once you've done so, no matter how many of the stars you earn, 1, 2, or 3, it gives you, an extra star in your little bracket, and you need this many stars to level up to the next level, which will then it'll start allowing you to play different lessons, because some lessons are locked by level, just because they want you to kind of know the beginning knowledge before you go move into something harder. And then here usually it'll just feature some type of lesson or thing that they've added. So this is the home tab. Another cool thing is this works with all MIDI controllers. So if I go back to the site, actually, any of you guys are feeling a little iffy, like these guys might be scamming or something, if you go down to the bottom, these are actually who Melodics is partnered with. So you have Native Instruments, Ableton, Pioneer DJ, Innovation Station, Akai Professional, you get M Audio, like all these really good, well-known businesses that are very trustworthy. But like I was saying, this works with all MIDI controllers. And for the pad mode, it works with pretty much any MIDI controller that has a pad, whether it's a huge pad with the 4x4 or the 4x2 layout. I think the lowest it goes is 3x2. But any layout, even if you have a Novation Launchpad with those huge, rows and columns of the buttons, it'll work with that as well. You can set it up and map it. And what's cool is it's plug and play. Also, you can use your typing keyboard as well. For those of you that don't have a keyboard, I think that kind of defeats the purpose of like learning how to use a MIDI controller. But I guess it would probably come in handy if somehow what you learn on the computer keyboard can convert over to a DAW where you can use your computer keyboard. That would be kind of cool. But like I was saying, it's just plug and play. So right now I don't have a option, anything besides my computer keyboard, but that's because mine's not plugged in. I have an Akai Mini, Akai MPK Mini. So I'm just gonna plug it in real quick. As I plug it in, it comes on. You can see it automatically reads it, switches to it. And you can remap your controller. So you can map all of the buttons exactly the way you want. It's really cool. You can also set your latency, which is like your lag, depending on what you're using. I'm using it's a multi-output device that I routed through my Scarlett. So, I don't really have to deal with latency, but that's just so you can see. These are all the settings. You can play test audio on it, which is really awesome. So now we're all set up. So I'm gonna go to learning. When I go to learning, on this page, it'll give me a lot of different lessons that some that I've done, some that are new for me or that are close to my grade range so that I can start doing. So when I come down, I can see all these different subgenres. So I got avant, pop, blues. I come down to get boogie, chill trap, chill wave, chiptune, cinematic, classical, country. And these aren't all of the lessons. They're just, like I was saying, some that are very close to where I'm at, like level 6. I think I'm level 7. So, and then you have exercises. So these are really awesome too. These will pretty much run you through scales and you get reps. So I try to do them in increments of 150. So I have 300 reps here, 300 reps here, and these are just different scales. So let's go into an actual exercise. So I'll show you. So when we open this up, it's really cool. It shows you on the bottom here what fingers to be using correlating to the key. And I think, if I can remember correctly, your right hand is yellow and your left hand is blue. So they color code your hands and your fingers, so you learn exactly where you're pressing down. Also, up here you have like a little rep meter, so it shows you exactly how many reps you have. Anyways, and then you got the backing track with the metronome. You can turn the metronome off so you can play to a metronome, and you can set your BPM. Also, you can change the instrument, the sound of your instrument. Okay, so let's go into it. So you would just do the scale. And as you can see, the reps are going up. One thing that I really love about this is it has the name on the key, so you can get used to it. You can do this as many times as you want. That's why I do it. I do it for 150 reps. It takes me about 20 minutes to do it, but it gets it really ingrained into your head. You can see visually exactly what you have to do. Your fingers will fall in line and will correlate exactly where you have to put them. And it also builds good practice habits. It helps to know where you need to put your fingers, because when you play these notes on the scale and you're jumping between the notes or you're arpeggiating, it's easier to do a lot of these exercises and lessons when you know exactly where your fingers should be in line, like when you're making a jump on the octaves of the keys. But anyways, let's digress. So that's major scales, right? These are all different scales, if you can see. There's easy ones. There's harder ones with different scales and sharps and flats and pentonic scales. You got triads, the Hanon. Yeah, so it's really awesome. You got a lot of different scales. You got a lot of different options you can go to and learn all these different scales and practice them, and it counts your reps, makes you accountable for what you're doing. So let's go to the courses. So within the course, I'll show you the introduction just so you can see exactly what it has to offer. Pretty much what the courses are for, to show you principles and concepts which you can use as you go and start growing and learning more with the MIDI keyboard. So let's go into the first lesson. It's called the Introduction to Melodics. I've finished it already, but I think it'd be a really great thing to open up with. So as you can see, when you open it up for the first time, it's gonna play the beginning of the song. I mean, you can stop it, but you can just get a baseline of what it's gonna sound like, you know, and it shows you with the colorations of the notes. And if I stop it here, it'll show me exactly the pattern of what I'm going to play. So obviously I'm going to be playing 4 notes because of the finger positions. And then I'm going to be using my index finger because it's lit up yellow. So I just need to find the C on the keyboard. Obviously, the more that you do this, you'll start to know your way around a keyboard a little bit more. I've taken a couple lessons, so I kind of know where keys are. But so I have the C. And it'll show you exactly what it sounds like, as well as when you're pressing it down and when you make a mistake. Like say for instance, I press the D instead. It shows me the red key, as well as it doesn't let me move on to the next finger's position until I press the C again. So cool. So now we'll get into it. We'll hit play. And this reminds me a lot of Guitar Hero. So when it brings it into this menu, you'll see your keyboard on the bottom, a visual representation of your keyboard, so you don't kind of have to look at your fingers. That's what it's trying to get you away from, is memorizing finger spacing and memorizing where you need to put your fingers without having to look at your hands and be so associated with the mechanics of it. You want to be in a creative space. That's why it's so important for you to learn exactly where to put your hands and stuff like that. Because when you're thinking too technical on where you need to be putting your hands and what am I pressing, and you're kind of just using your analytical mind, creativity doesn't come through as well, and it leads you to get really frustrated. So anyways, you have a visual representation on the bottom. As you can see, the keys move in line to what I'm playing. And like I said, it's like much like Guitar Hero. So if you see the notes here, it shows the name of the notes as well as the color of the hand. So that, like I was saying, the right hand is yellow and the left hand will be blue when you use it. Some of the lessons you will not be able to use anything less than like a 24 key, and then some of them even require like 60. I think it's like 64 or 62 keys. So yeah, so the bigger MIDI keyboard that you have, the more lessons that you'll be able to unlock. I have a bigger Yamaha over here, but I just wanted to show you this for the very basics. So what's cool about this is, so you have two different modes. You have performance mode, which is where you go to play, and this is where you will be graded. So once you start playing the actual lesson, every mess up that you make, it'll play it to the very end and it'll give you a grade. If you don't want the grade yet, you want to try out what you're doing, you can go here into practice mode. And this is why I was saying it reminds me a lot of Guitar Hero, because in Guitar Hero there used to be a function where you can go into like a practice mode and you can stop and slow things down. Here is the same way. So here you can go to this bar up on the top and you can drop the BPM, so you can slow it down as much as you want. And if I hit playback, maybe a little too slow. So you can slow it down as much as you want. And that's really cool. Another cool function of practice mode is the wait mode. So when you're getting up into the lessons where you have a lot of different notes all over the place and you're trying to practice, it's kind of hard to practice when, you know, even if I made a mistake on this, it just kept rolling and scrolling down the notes and I have to keep up. With this, the wait function, when I come back into it, as you can see, it stopped. And that's because I didn't press the right note. So even if that's the C note, even if I'm pressing D or any of these other notes, D, E, B, A, any of these notes, it's not moving because it's the wrong note until I press C again. And then it'll start to move forward and it'll stop at the next note if I haven't pressed it. So if I'm going into it, press the wrong note, it gives me some time to, catch up to myself and find my spacing. I'm going to show you a little bit faster. So we have the C, D, E. So when I start this lesson, I'll show you practice mode. I'll show you what auto BPM does. 115, and I'll set my threshold to 3 stars. 3 stars is near perfect. When you do 4 stars, that means you have to get everything correct for it to be able to jump up to the next BPM, which is handy, and especially if you're a perfectionist, it's really awesome. So I'm gonna start it. And as you notice, the notes are green because I'm getting the timing on point. When you're earlier or later, I think if you're early, they turn orange when you hit them. If they're late, they're purple. And if they're red, I believe that's the wrong note. And see, it just bumped me up the BPM. So when I play into performance mode, on the right side, I also have controls for the metronome. So these are all just volume controls. I can move this down so I don't hear the metronome as much, because I know that kind of gets annoying sometimes. These are your own notes, so you can make them a little bit louder, or you can lower things around it so you can hear yourself a little bit more. These are the guided notes behind your notes. So if you like turn this down, it'll be easier for you to hear your own notes, but these kind of help you keep the timing of the song. So I'll lower those a little bit. And then the backing track, you have the backing track, the song that kind of plays with it. So when I hit play again, starts it. And I love it. It's kind of like a little guitar hero. And these lessons seem very easy right now, but let me tell you, as you progress and level up in melodics, lessons get very hard. Perfect. And look, it's telling me I did perfect. It's giving me a little, a little pick me up here at the end. And then as you can see, when you finish a lesson, it gives you kind of like a past, like a history of your past performances on this lesson. So it'll show you like the grade range spectrum, like I was telling you, the star thresholds when you're doing practice mode. It's kind of how it rates you. Like I said, you earn stars as you do better in the actual lesson, and that goes to your leveling. But since I've already done this lesson, I didn't earn any stars. But it'll tell you your perfect notes, your early notes, like I was saying. The orange notes indicate that you're early. The purple ones indicate that you're late. These ones are the wrong notes. They'll give you your streak, as well as, like I said, your past performances. You can try it again. You can listen back to I think you can listen back to your own playing, so you can correct any mistakes that you hear. And then if not, you can move on to the next lesson or the next step in the lesson, since there's no more steps. You just go to the next lesson. And that's pretty much the courses. I mean, they have so many. They have the basic bass, build rhythms, basic chords. You have all kinds of cool ones, like I've seen some lo-fi ones in here. And another cool thing that they do is they send sample packs to the email that you signed up with. So as you go through the lessons and start to play through them and you earn the 3 stars, they'll send you the sample packs and you can add them to your DAW and start using them. Some of them are really awesome. They have a lot of cool sounds in them, and I think it's because they're partnered with like Native Instruments, and I think maybe some of the sounds from like sounds.com get intermingled with them. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so another thing I want to show you is the lessons. So when you come to the lessons, as you can see here, this is where you can browse. So you have you can browse by artists. Like I was telling you, different artists actually work with Melodics and create lessons. You have the free ones. These are pretty much all of the ones that are going to come with the free download Melodics. You got your genre base, and what's cool is you can search by like the exact genre, and as you can see, there's a bunch. It's a bunch of genres. You can come down here to the grade, and you can search by grade. There's 15, I believe. It caps at 15. I don't know. I'm on level 7, and it's pretty difficult where I'm at, so I can't even imagine 15. It's pretty top notch. And then you get the key, so you can work in certain keys that that you use the exercises when you're working with the scales, and you kind of want to work in that same key. You want to focus on one key. That's cool because you can come here and you can select the exact key that you've been working with. And that's one of my favorite things about Melodics is a lot of these lessons and courses, they'll inspire certain patterns, or you'll hear a certain melody, or you'll learn a certain melody or technique with your fingers, and you can take that back to your DAW and you can pretty much cut it and cook it up exact way you want it to. You can slow it down, or maybe you can change the notes on it and make it very much your own. And it inspires so much creativity, so that's why I really love this app. And then you also have a new tab. So the new tab is pretty much what's going to be coming in weekly. Not exactly sure what day they do that, but I know it is weekly. Just play this, just so I can show you something. So this is working with chords. Songs with A minor. This is fairly easy. Just gonna start the lesson, show you guys what it's like. And I don't know why I wanted to press the wrong button on that one, but see? And what's so cool is, like, say I messed up and I wanted to try again, I can click try again. Come back. Very much so like Guitar Hero. And did you see that last one was purple? I was late on that one. But all around, this app is super fun. And as you see, it's counting like my practice time. So this is it's not counting how long I'm in Melodics. It's counting how long I'm actually sitting there playing or actually touching the keyboard. So it's taking all of that into account. And I believe, see, it also goes through steps. So when you do a lesson or a course, you'll have like 3 or 4 different steps. Some of them are even longer, but you'll have a bunch of different steps where I learned the first 2 chords. Now I want you to learn the next 2 chords, and then the last one's going to be to put it all together. So let's just go through this lesson. So now, go on to F major. G. Move this. Super good. So go to the next step. Now it wants you to put it together. So it was A minor, G major, F. See, awesome. Finished the course. I didn't even do that one, so I thought that's one I already did. See, told me my daily goal is met at 5 minutes, and I believe once you pay for it, you can set your daily goal. I think you can. But for the free version, that'll probably actually be your limit for the day. So what I just did, that'll probably be your limit for the day. Until the next day, and then you can start in the next 5 minutes of practice. By them doing this and setting the 5-minute goal, at least, I've talked about this in a different video with the 5-minute thing, keeps you consistent. It allows you to build a habit. So you want to build a habit of this stuff. I mean, you want to follow it in a more of a structured way, and that's what I was saying with the exercises and doing certain lessons that are involved in the same key, and actually taking it a little bit seriously and leveling up through the process instead of just clicking on your favorite genre or you want to learn this. I would say it's best to learn the fundamentals of what it is actually trying to teach you, because I think that is one thing that it's really capable of doing, is teaching people the fundamentals in a fun and easy way. By far, this is the funnest way that I personally spent my time learning a keyboard. And I've taken lessons from professionals, and I've taken lessons from friends that are really good. I put myself in different environments, and as well as paid for different books or different, much like Melodics apps like this, that didn't give me the same results, or it just wasn't fun. And this is something that I can come to, and it doesn't feel like you're learning. It feels like you're playing a video game. It feels like you're leveling up with all the way that they're doing like the achievements and the little dopamine hits that they put throughout that, as well as seeing the grid come down just like Guitar Hero with the yellow and, you know, all the timing. Like I said, as it goes on and it gets more difficult, it is much like Guitar Hero where the notes are all over the screen. You have blue notes and yellow notes all going around. I will be making a video on the drumming, finger drumming aspect of it, because should have its own dedicated video. But I really enjoyed showing you guys this, and I really hope that if you guys do decide to download the free version, that this actually helps you too, because I was skeptical about it at first, but as I did the free version, and as I started to play more with it, I started to learn some stuff and feel more confident. I swear, my fingers have kind of memorized exactly where they need to go as far as spacing goes. And that really helps me a lot too. As you can see, I was messing up on some of the lessons, but what it's really helping me to do is to be able to play chords on the MIDI or the piano without looking at them now a lot more than I had to, because before I would have to really focus. I would know exactly what note that starts the chord and all the notes that go into the chord, but to be able to, feel it without actually looking at it, that's some Ray Charles stuff. And I want to be able to do that. That is my goal for this. I want to be able to play, if not just know exactly where my fingers should go without having to look at it. I think that's really awesome. But that's my goals. But for you guys, I hope that this helped. If you could do me a favor, if you haven't yet, can you please subscribe to my channel? Because I'm trying to grow this thing. I'm trying to share information and value with people, because I'm much like you. I'm a music producer trying to make it. I'm trying to do this thing, and I don't think that we should have this like competition mindset all the time. There's a time and place for it, but sometimes it's cool to just like chill with other producers, talk to other producers, and share your tips, share your habits, share what's helped you out, because I know we're all going through the same things sometime. And it just makes me feel really good to be able to make these videos, put them out, whatever quality, doesn't matter to me. I'm just happy to do this for you guys. So if you can hit me with a subscribe, maybe even like this video so I can get it out to more people. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video. I'm Dab the Natural. Peace.